Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having water, and today I'll be discussing the Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas. I did get this through my library through the Libby app, so I got an e-version, and of course I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the highlights, and there are no content warnings listed for this book, and I gave it 5 stars. I had an absolute blast reading this book, so what's it about? So this book is about Tio, who is a 17-year-old jade semi-dios and trans son of Quetzal, the goddess of birds. Tio is a mischief maker who must put his pranks aside as it's a very important time right now, as it is time for the Sunbearer Trials, which is a competition that takes place every 10 years where 10 semi-dios are chosen by Sol to compete in a competition where the winner will replenish the sunstones at the temple's Rio de Sol in order to protect the realm from the dark gods, where the loser is sacrificed to help fuel the stones for the next 10 years. Those chosen by Sol are usually gold, which is why they spend years at an academy preparing for the honor to be chosen. It is very rare for a jade to be chosen, which is why they are never admitted to the academy, and if one ends up being chosen, they usually end up coming in last, thus sacrificed to fuel the stones. So when Sol chooses Tio and Zio, both of whom are jades, to compete in the deadly trial, it is a matter of survival to not come in last against the jades who are not only stronger but better prepared. But these 5 trials that they must face are more than just about strength, but also about heart and sacrifice, which means the winner could end up surprising them all. So what are my thoughts? Again, I'm giving this 5 stars, and oh my god, this book was so good. The moment I finished it, I put immediate hold request in for book 2, and I can't wait to get it. Hopefully I get it soon because I have to find out what happens next. I haven't enjoyed a trials book like this in so long. The trials were exciting, and it was also great that the winners weren't always the winner of the trials. And what I mean by that is that it's always so frustrating when you see people doing bad things during these trials and be rewarded for it by coming in first or winning the whole competition. Instead, in this book, in this world, they also take into account the actions and the intent during these trials to help determine the winner. And that's great because sometimes the winner of the trials aren't the winner of the competition. I just really enjoyed that. But what I really enjoyed the most was the beautiful fantasy world that this author built, and they honestly delivered in a way where I think anyone could understand it. I will admit I am not familiar with Mexican and Aztec mythology, but the information that this book delivered about the culture and the mythology was not only informative but entertaining as well, all while building out their world, the story, and the characters. I also really enjoyed how this world was queer normative and how accepting they were of all identities. It was just so refreshing, and how I wish our own world was, and that accepting mindset carried over to other areas as well when it came to representation, with one of the characters being hearing impaired, and it was the norm for them to have a sign language interpreter. They weren't angry that they had to make this accommodation. It was just normal for them. In fact, our main character Tio was upset that he didn't know more sign language so that he could communicate with his contestants. And I just really enjoyed the world, the story, and the characters. Main and side characters were both entertaining and complex as well. I just had a blast reading this, and I can't wait to read the next one. But I will be getting a physical book for my shelves, not only for myself to reread down the line, but also for my children to enjoy when it is appropriate for them. Overall, this is a great book. I recommend it, and it is currently available, so definitely check it out, and I hope you have a good night and happy readings.